Hello, this is Erin, and welcome back to my channel where I am documenting my husband Gary's and I journey to debt freedom and also covering not only our debt payoff progress, but also our savings and ultimately moving into investing. So if you are new here, welcome. Fantastic to have you on board. If you are watching the first time, go ahead and consider subscribing to this channel. If you like what you see in this video or some of my other videos, give it a like, hit the subscribe button. That really does help both with my channel, and it just gives me warm, fuzzy, good feelings inside. In this video, going to cover two key topics. One is our debt progress updates, and then also going over our net worth. Okay, I'm going to start with our debt progress. March is reflective of what a month normally looks like. So where I would like to start is then our debt balance here. So at the end of February, we had a consumer debt balance of $32,901. We ended the month with a balance of $29,070. So underneath that 30,000 mark, as you can see, we started at 41,936. This month, we paid off a total of $3,831 to our consumer debt. This does include some interest amounts. See a little bit of a drop, 12% in January, 10% February, 9% in March, but still relatively consistent with those numbers and really an accurate reflection. As mentioned, our debt at the start of the year was $41,936. This is the raw amount. This is not amortized. This does not include any consideration of interest being paid. And if you watch my Transfer Tuesdays and my updates with our debt progress on our debt trackers, the way I track our debt, I actually have amortized amount. That is just to help with that tracker to give me a better idea, have it a little bit more accurate so that I can finish coloring in my trackers at the same time that the debt is finished off. So at $12,866 paid off for the year. For the first quarter then in general, we have paid off 31% of our debt. Now our goal is to have all of this consumer debt taken care of by the end of 2021. If we are at 31% at the end of the first quarter, we are ahead of schedule of having that taken care of. And so that for us is extremely exciting. Next, we have our mortgage. And I have the mortgage separated out because lower payments, larger number, smaller amounts. And so if I combine this with our other debt, it really would skew what our progress looked like. I like to have the most accurate representation as possible. Balance on our home at the end of February was $402,193. At the end of March, our balance was $401,327. We made $866 in payments. I believe this is after interest to the mortgage, and so a 0.21%. So you can see very small percentages. It's going to take us a good 5-6 payments just to pay down 1% for now. We've got plans for the future, but for now, lower amounts. But that's one of the nice things is we're able to actually kind of track, see if we are staying at those averages. Obviously, January, a bit of a wonky month just with the way that the dates fell, but now it's starting to become more consistent. This is also why it's important not to just take 1 month using just a single data point. One single data point does not show you trends. You have to look at the data over time. And this is also why we track by year. And I do have a third one where I track from the very beginning of the mortgage as well. At the start of 2021, we owed $403,512. These numbers are rounded up just to have a more conservative estimate. At the end of the month, this number I round down, $401,327. So we have in 2021 thus far paid $2,185 towards principal for 0.54%. So about 0.5%. That puts us on track for that probably around 6 months of paying off 1%. So really happy where we're sitting in terms of our debt payoff. That brings up the question, how is this impacting our net worth? And I'm glad you were thinking about that because that is what we are going to go and take a look at next. And again, if you are new to this, your net worth is just your asset minus any liabilities. And the difference between those two is what your actual net worth is. And people calculate their assets slightly differently. Everybody has a different process. Some people are extremely conservative. Some people are a bit more lenient. I fall somewhere in the middle. The value of our home. We have not had a formal appraisal since purchasing our home. And so our home value was $470,000. $58,000. We do have about $6,000 cash on hand savings. And this we've been tinkering a little bit with it, trying to find what actually are our cash accounts that are not changing, because we do have some cash on hand that is in revolving accounts. This really creates a lot of fluctuations in our net worth. So we're reviewing that kind of as our quarter 1 review. We'll know for sure what we're going to do in April. Our retirement accounts, so this is our superannuation. So in Australia, we have superannuation. It's somewhat similar to a 401k in the US, but very different in that our employer contributions are much higher. Employers have a minimum requirement to contribute 9.5% of your salary before taxes to your superannuation. That's the bare minimum. My organization actually contributes 17% of my salary. My husband does 9.5%, and you can do additional on top of that. If you're interested in learning about our superannuation process, just leave a comment below and I can make an additional video just covering how that process works, because it is quite different, yet similar to the US. So same, but different, which means clear in some parts and muddy as anything in other. So retirement accounts, a little bit of a bounce back. You can see in February, didn't change much from January to February, but March looking a bit better. Our vehicles right now, $58,000. This is going to change in April. And then others, $25,300. So our total assets is up to $874,516. This means that we had a monthly change of an increase of $3,761. Year-to-date change in our assets has been $11,740. Our change this month was 0.43%, and our change overall for the year is a 0.5%, almost as well, 0.44. And that's really impacted by February. February, not the best of month, on that we were in the negative for that. Assets are offset by our liabilities. So even though our home is worth $470,000, our mortgage amount that we owe is $401,327. Our personal loan, $27,402, and our credit card, $1,668. Our total liabilities, $430,397. Our monthly change was $5,037. Our year-to-date change, $15,051. So our monthly change is 1.16%, and our year-to-date is 3.38%. One last thing that I want to draw attention to here as well is the percentage. With our assets, with the 5 that we have, our home makes up 53.85%, cash on hand less than 1%. We really need to work on this, but we want to take care of that debt first. Retirement accounts, 35.5%, vehicles, just under 7%, and other is under 3%. I like looking at these percentages because it just allows me to see the variability, how spread out our assets are. Do we have all of our eggs in one basket? And as we move forward and into the investing process, that is one of the things that we are going to want to focus on. For our liabilities, our mortgage pretty much makes up the largest amount at 92%. Loan at the end of March, 7%. Credit card at 2%. I actually should look at this month by month to see how much that dropped. I can probably go and quick calculate that for my own edification. So that brings us then to what our net worth is. So we have a net worth of $444,119. Our monthly net worth change was $8,798. Our year-to-date, $26,791, and our monthly change 2%, and our year-to-date change 6%. So we have a very modest goal of trying to increase our net worth by $55,000 in 2021. We are on track thus far to do this. We might actually start looking at a stretch goal, because since we are just under halfway to that 55,000, we might bump this up to maybe 90 or 100. Another thing that I want to point out, and we just started doing this, our net worth is greater than our liabilities. Not by much, but it is greater than our liabilities. Up until this point, our liabilities were still greater than what our overall net worth was. And then I also added that in terms of an additional tracker, because the only thing I love more than numbers is a good graph, as long as it's not an exploding 3D pie chart. Those are, don't make them. But our net worth by month. The light blue is our assets. This peachy color are liabilities. Our trend line, number one, what our net worth is, assets minus liabilities. Then this is net worth minus our assets, or minus our liabilities. So ideally, this line will meet this line, and then they will start going straight up. And that is what we really want. Not something that I think other people look at. It might mean absolutely nothing, but to me, it's just another visual cue. It's just another reminder by looking at this that we actually don't have anything that is in a negative number at this time. And again, we're watching our liabilities decrease, our assets increase, and overall making some good progress. So that is where we are sitting at for the end of the month, and also kind of give you an idea of where we are at for the end of the quarter as well. We will continue doing this, tracking both our debt updates and then also our net worth. So you can look for that usually in the first couple weeks of the new month. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about how we're calculating this, what we're doing, what's involved in it. How are you going with your net worth, particularly with any types of investments? Really interested in learning about people and their investments right now, because that is going to be the next step that we are going to take along with tackling the mortgage. So pop those down in the comments below if you have anything to add. As always, remember to choose kindness, show gratitude, always keep a positive mindset, and I will see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Bye.